Hi everyone. Circle is a very hot crypto IPO, and as you can see, since it IPO'd, it's up, about 300%. So you guys may be thinking, is this a worthy buy? Is it better than other crypto companies? And I'll give you a little bit of insight. Basically, Circle is a stablecoin company. If you guys aren't aware of what a stablecoin is, essentially when you're buying or selling crypto, you don't convert straight to cash, you convert to a stablecoin. So it's not very high technology. It's pretty useless, to be honest, but I guess it is just to promote being in crypto. And what these stablecoin companies do often is they buy bonds using the people's money while they're sitting in a stablecoin. They'll use your money, buy bonds, and make some income off that. So it's a very simple business. Now, looking into their report, we can see that they have about 205 million Class A common shares, another 20 million Class B. Looking into their financial statement, you can see that, they're doing about 29 cents diluted. If I annualize that and then multiply it by a 60% growth rate, essentially bringing them back to 2023 earnings, divide it by the current price, you can see they're trading at a P at about 72. Now, to put that into more context, we got to look at their growth to see, does that really justify 72? And I think, are they seeing a little bit of growth if we look kind of at the first 3 months of 2025 compared to the last year of 2024? They're growing, not at the best rate. What really strikes me as kind of weird is their net income shrank from 2023. Barely any growth from 2023 to 2024. And what's very strange is they have so much operating expenses, like this is essentially zero technology. There's zero mode. It's not a hard business. And I just don't see how they're spending this much money. Like, I would imagine that this company hitting the market is equivalent to kind of a grifting scheme. Now, I've shown you their financials, which look pretty poor, but the choice to buy is up to you. I didn't come purely to bash them, though. I do think there's better crypto stocks, some pure, some not. If we're to look at something like Coinbase and say if it's better or worse, I actually think Coinbase is better, but not by a lot. I don't really like Coinbase either because it's an exchange and, the exchange always wins, but with it being just heavily crypto and the crypto market being so cyclical and perhaps at a peak, it's very hard to say if this company can keep rising at its current multiple. One that's a little bit interesting is MicroStrategy, essentially a Bitcoin holding company. You're paying a premium on your Bitcoin that may expand, may contract. I made a few videos on this one before and it's up a lot since then, but the situation's completely changed because now they've taken it to a more risky, they've taken a more risky strategy and they're paying quite a hefty yield just to buy more Bitcoin. And it's almost a definition of a Ponzi scheme where the only way they can pay off the people is by issuing more notes with that yield. So this one, it's only a Ponzi scheme when it's going down, essentially, is the way you should look at it. And if you're very bullish on Bitcoin, I would say this is probably the best way to play it. If you're moderately bullish, probably stick with IBIT, just the Bitcoin ETF. If you're pretty neutral in crypto, like you want some sort of crypto exposure, but you don't want to go too overboard, I would suggest Robinhood. And the reason I'd suggest Robinhood is because a large portion of their revenue is crypto. But the thing is, they don't need crypto to succeed to win because their underlying business is doing very, very well. And, they have interest revenue, they have transaction revenue. Even if crypto goes to zero, this business could actually be fine if you give it a few years. Whereas if you give MicroStrategy a few years, a decade, 2 decades, and crypto goes to zero, it doesn't matter. Like, the company is just a zero. And Coinbase is the same story. So this one gives you that crypto exposure without taking on the same risk. And I think it's just a higher quality business with better management. But, if Bitcoin was to go on a mega run, the winners are really going to be MicroStrategy and Coinbase over this. But I think overall, this is still the best buy out of the three.